So okay guys, so let's continue. So in the last session we were here. Okay, in the last session we were here. So in this process your main task will be, if the loan amount is less than 25,000, you will send it for auto approval, else you will be sending it for manual approval. Okay, so for that we have designed the condition here. So whenever you want to design or whenever you want to specify if else condition, you will be using the route activity. Okay, you will be using the route mediation task. So whenever you want to have conditions in BW, we will use the option success with condition so and so. So here you cannot specify conditions on the transitions. Okay, you cannot specify conditions on these lines or transitions. You have to specify them using the route activity. Okay, now so let's configure this activity. So now select the activity. So first you have to specify what variable. Okay, you'll have to define one variable, so which will be holding the value. Okay, so here you'll be having that option. So this is to add a condition. So add a rule case is similar to selecting the option success with condition. And the next you have add rule variable. So this is where we define the variable. Okay, so select rule variable. Okay, select add rule variable, and we are using the double value, so select the type to double and then specify loan amount. Okay, now so here you have the loan amount variable. Now you have to specify the comparison operator. Okay, you have to specify the comparison operator. So just click under this 0.0, click under that and then specify, so less than or equals to, and specify your value. Just under loan amount specify your value. Okay, if it is less than or equals to 25,000, you will be sending request to the auto approval. So otherwise you will be sending some temporary reply, you will be sending, or intermediate reply you will be sending. Okay, so I'm going to give a name for the case. Okay, so that's my case name. Now you have to specify. Okay, you have to specify the loan amount. Okay, you have to specify the loan amount. So that's why go to input. Okay, so go to input. So from the request message, so select loan amount and then specify loan amount. Okay, now, so let's specify which service you want to call. So you want to call this particular service. Okay, you want to call this particular service. So that's why go to general. Okay, go to general and go to target operation and select so invoke BPM approval request. Okay, so invoke BPM approval request. So select that. Okay, and then so go to input and we're going to map the exact parameters. Okay, so all these parameters we will be mapping. So since parameters are same, okay, since all the parameters are same, so we will map these root elements. Okay, we'll map these root elements. So select loan request and drag and drop onto loan request. Okay, select loan request and drag and drop onto loan request. And select auto map. Okay, so select auto map and select next and finished. So you can see all the elements are automatically mapped. Okay, all the elements are automatically mapped. Okay, and then so we will be sending the reply. Now select generate reply. Okay, select. So generate reply and we will specify the request status. Okay, so this is the temporary reply because we have just received the loan application. Okay, that's it. And save. Okay, save. So you can specify the request status here, or the target application will be sending the when the target application completes the request, so the response it will be sending. Okay, so if you see this activity output, so there is no output for this activity. Okay, so since there is no output for this activity, so since incoming is a synchronous call, you have to send some response to that. So what you're doing, you are calling the service and then you are sending the response to the requester. If at all you want to have any fault handling, so if at all you want to have any fault handling, you will be using this fault tab. So these faults are already defined. Okay, these faults are already defined. So you can see so many faults we have here. Okay, having so many faults. So it's very easy to understand this is. Okay, so this is very easy to understand. Now, when your target application throws error, okay, when your target application throws error, okay, when your target application throws error, so that error you will be catching here. Okay, when your target application throws error, so you will be catching the error using this catch activity, catch fault activity. Okay, but between you and target application, sorry, between the source application, target application, you have this active matrix. Okay, you have this active matrix. So that's why when the target system throws error, the AMX is going to catch that error, and then it will be forward. It has to forward that error to the caller. Okay, it has to forward the error to the caller. So how it can do that? By using this activity, so which is throw fault or send fault to the caller. So between these two, you can do some kind of transformations also. Okay, between these two, you can do transformations also. After catching the error from the target system and before sending the error to the requester, you can do some kind of transformations there. Okay, so you will be catching the error from the target system using catch activity, so that will be automatically defined for you. So you don't have to specify that one. Okay, you don't have to specify that one. And then you can send the fault to the caller by using the send fault activity or throw fault activity. Okay, that's using send fault activity, you can send the error to the caller. Okay, now this process is completed. Okay, so that mediation is completed. Now let's see what we have here. So here, so we have nothing in this, just we are logging it, and here you are simply sending the response. Okay, now, so this is fine as of now. Okay, this is fine as of now. Now let's test this application. Okay, let's test this application. So one more thing you have to do here, so that is when the loan application is completed. Okay, when the loan application is completed, you have to send the callback. Okay, you have to send the status to the caller. Okay, so that will implement later, but for now let's test this. So for testing this composite, so you can use the designer inbuilt feature. Okay, you can use the designer inbuilt feature, which is debugger. So using the debugger, you can test your composite applications before deploying them. Okay, so right click on composite and select the option. You can use run as, you can use debug as. So I will select run as composite application. Okay, select run as and select composite application. Okay. So now the debugger is starting. So after some time, the node will be started. Then we can test our applications. Okay, so the application started, so that you can find out by checking these statements. Okay, the application is started. Now let's test this application. Okay, let's test this application. So if you want to test the application, you go to this Administrator Explorer. Okay, go to the Administrator Explorer, and there you have loans interface. So you can right click on the loan interface, and you can select the option test with Web Services Explorer. Okay, you can test this with Web Services Explorer. So select that, right click and select test with Web Services Explorer. Okay, so because this is our main interface, so many components are there here. Okay, so these are service, online services, orchestration, auto approval, manual approval system. But out of all this, you can say all are having virtualizations, except this one, this component service or promoted service, so which has the loans interface. Everything is having the virtualization only. Okay, so right click on that and select test with Web Services Explorer. Okay, now so there you have the operation. Okay, you have the operation, so select that operation. Select the operation and pass the parameters. So first time I will specify the loan amount as 10,000. Okay, okay, you click on go. So there you can see you got the request. Okay, so instantly you got the response. Okay, now so I will send the loan amount which is greater than 25,000. Okay, it's greater than, it's okay, it's greater than 25,000. So when I send the request for this, so you can see. Okay, loan application is filed, so we'll send an email for further correspondence. Okay, and here you can see the the data that you have used. I'm going to test it once again. Okay. Okay, there you can see the incoming request is locked. Okay, it is locked to the console, and then so it will show you the response. Okay, now so it is working exactly as we have expected. Now the next task that you have to do is, once the loan application is completed, okay, once loan application is completed, you have to send the callback. Okay, you have to send the callback. So whether you have accepted it or you have rejected it, so that information you have to specify. Okay, so how exactly you can specify that here? Now first thing is you have to provide an option. Okay, you have to provide an option for the user to enter the response values. Okay, you have to provide an option for the user to enter the response values. Okay, so which means you need to understand one thing here, how the communication happens. The client will fill the form and he will send the request. Okay, the client fills the form and he will send the request, and that is taken by that one of the approval team. Okay, that is taken by one of the approval team. So those guys will take that, they're going to enter some data and they will send back to the client. Okay, they will enter some data, they will send back to the client. So which means in the first interaction, the client is acting as a web service client, and the approval team is acting as web service provider. In the second case, the approval team will be acting as a web service client because they are the one who will be filling the form. Okay, so which means they are the one who is going to approve or reject the claim, and then they are going to send information back to the client. So that's why this time the approval team is acting as a web service client, and the actual client is acting as a web service provider. So that's where now you have to configure this in a reverse way. Okay, you have to configure this in a reverse way. So how you going to do that? You're going to do that here. So what you're going to do is, when this mediation completes its task, when the mediation completes its task, it's going to send the call back to the caller. So who is the caller? The caller is this application, and to this application it will send the call back, and from here you will send that information to the web service client. Okay, so I'm going to select this. I will define one reference, because once the application is completed you have to call this application, so that's why. So select this and select add component reference. Okay, add component reference. So what WSDL file you need to refer? So select that and select configure WSDL interface. And this time you will be sending this one. Okay, so acknowledgement from approval. Okay, you'll be sending acknowledgement from approval. So select that interface. Okay, select that interface and then select OK. Okay, select OK. Now, so I will give a name for that. Okay, the ACK from approval PT. And to whom you are going to send that call back? To the application who has sent the request. So who has initiated request to this orchestration loan request, and to that you will be sending that back. Okay, you will be sending that back. Now, so select the service and add the service here. Okay, add the service. So now here the reference of this and the service of this should match. Okay, the reference of this and the service of that should match. Okay, so select that. And this I'm going to name it as receive callback. Okay, so receive callback from approval PT. Okay, now go to port type, select not set, and select accept ACK from approval PT. Okay, select it. And then connect these two. Okay, so I'm going to use the receive ACK from approval PT. Then you can see it is connected. Okay, it is connected. Okay, so you'll complete the task, and then so once you complete the task, that will be sent to the caller. Now you have to provide a way. Okay, you'll have to provide a way where you can accept the you have to provide a way where the user can enter the data. Okay, you have to provide the way where the user can enter the data. So in order to enable that, okay, in order to enable that, so what you need to do is you need to define one service. So select add component service. Okay, add component service and port type. So select this, accept ACK from approval pit. Okay, accept ACK from approval pit. So select. Okay, so select that. So I'll give a name for this. Okay, inbound loan completion request. Now, so since it will be coming from the user, so we need to generate the binding for this so that you can test it. Okay, you can test it by entering the values. So this we require only to test the values. Okay, so select this and select promote. Okay, select promote. And there you have the mediation. There you have promoted service. Now select this promoted service and select add binding. Okay, select add binding and then select show binding. Okay, select show binding. So I'll give the same name for this also. What the fuck is this? Okay, Okay. Now if you are giving to external applications, you have to provide the visual file for them. So I am going to take this visual file. So I will select the option generate visual. And then specify where you want to save it. Okay. Select next. And I will specify the port 5002 and now the flow is completed. Okay, so this flow is completed, but now so you have to do the implementation. Okay, you have to do the implementation. So some errors it is showing. Okay, it is showing some errors. Now let's rectify those errors. So click on that error and select update implementation from component. Okay, select the option update implementation from component. So select it. There you can see error is gone. And similarly, so select this mediation. So click on the error. So update mediation implementation from component. Okay, update mediation implementation from component. Select. And then okay. Now we have to update this mediation component. So select the manual approval BPM system. Okay, select the manual approval BPM system. So when you get the callback, okay, when you get the callback from the form, all you have to do is you just have to call this outbound operation. Okay, you just have to call this operation. Okay, so that's why now just select this operation. Okay, select this operation and drag and drop this operation from here onto this. Okay, so drag and drop the operation from here onto this. Okay, so now hello, hello. Okay, yeah, Ravi, tell me. Okay. See, right now we have no inquiries on that. So that's right now we have inquiries for AMX BPM and and for IBM things and all. Yeah, online classes we are taking. So, but one person, one-to-one, yeah, one-to-one is not possible. So if two people are there at least, then I can take. Yes, 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 yes. Of course, I'll be teaching. I will tell you. So if any time is there, now I will let you know. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you SMS me your number, so I will call you back. when there is, whenever I'll be starting, I'll tell you. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, anytime. Okay. Okay then. Bye. Good night. Bye. Now, so this is done here. Now, once you get the callback, we'll just print it to the console here. Now, so select this component. There we have the application. Okay, so there you have. So accept ACK from approval system. So we'll simply send this. We'll just log it. Okay, we'll just log this response. Okay, or the callback. So that's why, so drag and drop this operation onto this console into the mediation path. Okay, now so select end mediation and specify that here. Okay, specify that here. We're not going to do anything. We'll just log it. So select log activity and specify here. Okay, so what you want to log? The incoming callback. So go to log and select response message. Okay, go to log and specify response message. Now I also want to add one property. Okay, I also want to add one property here. Okay, I want to add one property. So that's why, so click in this mediation paths. Okay, click in the mediation paths and then select properties. Like how we have properties here, I will define one property here. Okay, go to properties and then click on plus. And I'm going to give a name for this. And I'll just write something here. Okay. Okay, save it. That's it. Now you can see, now it is showing some error here because we have defined some property in the implementation. Okay, some property we have defined in the implementation and that change is not reflected here. So that's why it is showing some error. So to rectify this error, so select the mediation, so click on the error, but this time you have to select the first option. Okay, you have to select the first option, which is update component from implementation. Okay, select update component from implementation. There you can see one property is added. Okay. So what property is that? So this is the property. Okay. And this property also I want to log it. So that's why what I will do, I will select this log activity, log, and select email task. So it will log the response message as well as this statement. Okay, this statement will be sent to the user. Okay. Now, so this completes this process. Okay. Okay, so this will complete in the next class. Okay. So tomorrow we'll see rest of the things. Yeah, you can place your. Yeah, it's very easy to install. Just I gave the software, right? Just open that and run installer. So it will do the entire installation will be done. Yeah, you can put the your own message to the fault. You can use the transform activity here. Okay, you can use the transform activity here, and you can put your own fault message. Okay.
Hi, Srini, I did not receive any software training.
So you can write your custom fault messages by placing the transform activity here, or by using the option send fault here. Instead of generate reply, okay, instead of generate reply, you can use throw fault, and then so use the transform activity to specify your own fault data. Okay. So okay guys, now I have sent the mail, right?
Yep.
I have sent the mail to both of you. So the Google Drive link I have sent.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay guys, yeah. Okay Sudhakar. Okay Sudhakar and Harsha. Thank you. Good night to all. Bye for now.